But no, so my question was, this movie is a lot better, in my opinion, than Friday the 13th Part 3. But why is this movie not as well known as Friday the 13th? Why did it not get
fair
sequels?
question. It's really because the first Friday the 13th, obviously it hit something about that movie just popped with the public. It just came out at a time when we had Halloween, but we hadn't had a whole lot of movies like that since. Friday the 13th comes out, super popular. Even though Halloween is like, or Halloween or Black Christmas or Texas Chainsaw, whatever, like consider like the first slasher movie. Friday the 13th is really what kind of made that a movement, if you will. And so that sees a bunch of imitators. The Halloween sequels started coming out after Friday the 13th, which I think is notable.
Gotcha, okay.
I think it's just, and really after Friday the 13th, what movie like had the impact that Friday the 13th had until Nightmare on Elm Street? Like a slasher movie, I should say.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Like, and there's, I mentioned The Burning. The Burning might be better than any Friday the 13th movie. It's certainly better than the first one. This is better than a number of Friday the 13th movies, probably better than the first one. I think that's debatable at least. Yeah, I think it's just like the right time. And then there's something about, especially once we get the hockey mask with Jason, there's just something iconic about that, although that isn't what you had with the first two movies. So I don't know. I think it's when you have a successful movie, there's a lot of luck involved. I mean, sometimes it's just like a really, really good movie and it finds its audience over time, but there's a lot of really good movies that never find an audience, and I don't know, there's a lot of bad movies that do. So I think there's just a lot of happy accidents going with Friday the 13th, and The Prowler just didn't have the same thing. And I don't know. I think it's all timing. Friday the 13th in 1980. This, a year later, probably after we've even gotten Friday the 13th Part 2. We've just been seeing this type of thing before.
Yeah, and I think as well, to be honest, I like the look of the Prowler. The army helmet.
The killer
look.
The visual, yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
But I don't think the American GI is...
Ever looked like that?
Well,
no, I see what you mean.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like...
I see where you're going.
The American GI is too almost, like, patriotic of an image to make it look
Hey,
really
listen, we've had
scary and
Uncle
creepy.
Sam killer movies. It's happened. I haven't seen them. I know they're out there.
But you know what I mean, though, right? Because this is a movie about a guy returning from World War II who is jilted, and he kills his girlfriend or his ex because he's upset that she broke up with him. And
there's potential for and I say potential for, like, I'm talking like a different script entirely because this movie wasn't going in that direction. But to make like a revenge kind of horror thing where you're kind of sympathetic towards the soldier, towards the veteran.
Yeah.
You could go like a First Blood route. I mean, clearly that's very far from what this movie's going for. But I think you could have a movie where like this soldier, like, yeah, he was a hero, but he lost his mind. And then there's some interesting things with that. But yeah, I understand the patriotic point. We don't tend to want to see a character like that be a killer. I mean, I love me some Maniac Cop. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I see what you mean. But Jason, there is literally nothing to Jason. And somehow we can make that scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that this isn't scary, but there's just something about the nothingness of Jason or the nothingness of Michael Myers. He's just pure evil. There's something about that grabbed the public in a way that this guy didn't, or Cropsey from The Burning didn't, or the killer in, what's that movie called where he wears an owl mask?
I have no clue.
Some Italian movie where he goes around killing people I think it's Stage Fright. I think it's one of those Italian movies that has a few names, but Stage Fright. There's a guy going around killing people who are like doing play rehearsals, and he wears an owl mask. Like, it's just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and I guess while we're still on the subject,
of owls?
Yeah. Yeah, of the Prowler, of American GIs. And a quick Google search for this movie will bring up articles about like PTSD and how it was portrayed in this movie, or links to PTSD. And I think anybody writing articles like that, like, sure, you can make a pretty vague loose connection.
If you're writing a scholarly article on The Prowler, you should have your head examined. I'm sorry, this is...
Exactly. Because,
there's stuff... Again, write about your PTSD representation in First Blood.
Exactly.
Do not write about it with the Prowler.
Yeah, because I don't think there's much under
even the Rambo sequels we're abandoning all connection with that shit.
Yeah.
It's just an action movie.
Yeah, and you know what the Prowler is? Nothing. There's nothing under the surface. It is just surface level, and that is it. It is a slasher movie.
The Prowler is one of the most direct movies you will ever see.
Yes, absolutely.